Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Key Gripe, the show for short, sweet reviews of new release movies, plus the one thing that annoyed me the most. And today I'm going to be talking about Manchester by the Sea, and there are going to be some minor spoilers. When his brother suddenly dies, a man is forced to return to his old home, Manchester by the Sea. And while he is faced with taking guardianship of his teenage nephew, he's also forced to face the tormenting ghosts of his own past. The film stars Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams, Kyle Chandler, Lucas Hedges, C.J. Wilson, Heather Burns, Matthew Broderick, and Gretchen Mol. And the film is directed by Kenneth Lonergan. Once upon a time, Casey Affleck was just Ben Affleck's little brother. But where he has succeeded throughout his career is with stories imbued with realistic gravitas. Movies like The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford and Gone Baby Gone really focus on Affleck's strengths as an actor. And in one of the year's finest performances, Affleck plays Lee Chandler, a janitor with a troubled past. Now, at first, you think he is just another down on his luck character since all the cliches are there. But it becomes apparent over this unfolding story that there is reason behind his melancholy. In fact, it's quite dark, and something you're surprised his character could even survive. Kenneth Lonergan wrote and directed this film and deserves a lot of stylistic credit. It's another story about real people, which is often difficult to convey in movies with believability. There's sometimes this air of contempt for the common man, but this movie really does convey the real people well. Characters have grudges, they have reservations, they are perfectly imperfect. But one thing that all of them have is heart, and however they express that individually. This really is a character story about a broken man forced to face the world that broke him. And alongside Affleck, the cast is superb. Lucas Hedges plays his teenage nephew Patrick, who is a challenging figure for Lee. For Patrick, losing his dad really hurts him, but he doesn't want to lose the life his father was building for him. You can see the sadness, but you can also see the understanding that this was likely going to happen at some point in his life. And Hedges is on point with his acting, especially with his smart-ass jabs throughout. Michelle Williams is a strong actress when it comes to playing tragic women. Even though she's limited in this film, she nonetheless is commanding in every scene she's in. And while Kyle Chandler only exists in memory as Joe, his impact on the story and the film is clear, and Chandler does a great job of portraying this character. I also really enjoyed C.J. Wilson as George, who's this funny but warm-hearted friend, just the kind of guy you want to root for. The direction is another sticking point of this film, capturing the really beautiful coastal setting of Manchester by the Sea. And Lonergan does a great job showing as often as he tells. There's a number of scenes where you get more of a visual reaction than a dialogue exchange. But where it succeeds most is how you come to understand Lee more as the story progresses. You're given information when it's most relevant and impactful. And while some of the moments are expected, like a terrible family tragedy, they are necessary. But it never relies on overly melodramatic tropes. The human drama is much more relatable. There's a little bit of melodrama in it, but more of the drama is the human interaction. But when you have great acting and a solid screenplay, everything just falls into place. And truly, this is one of the best films I have seen this year. If that's the case, though, then what could my key gripe be? Well, the movie is full of powerful, emotional moments that drive this unfolding story. But there's one moment that might have been weakened by overtalking. If you don't know what it is, overtalking is the effect when two or more people are talking at the same time. I'm not a fan of it. And there's a scene where Lee and Randy, played by Michelle Williams, meet again. And Randy wants to get some things off her chest. She wants to open up, basically. Keep in mind, this is after they've divorced and after the tragedy and all that. But the two are over-talking throughout this exchange, and the editing in this scene is a little bit shaky as well. So even though it's well acted and it's a crucial scene, I really wasn't moved by the chaotic discussion between them. The moment itself is strong, but the convoluted dialogue exchange really lessens the impact a bit. I can always do without over-talking, especially in a critical scene like this. Overall, this is an extremely well-crafted film, from the impeccable acting, the sharp dialogue, and the beautiful direction throughout. Even with employing some common dramatic cliches, the film rises above the rest thanks to a realistic and intricate story. This was a highly anticipated drama coming into this season, and it didn't disappoint. Any awards it wins will be warranted because this is a great example of what powerful films can be. I'm giving Manchester by the Sea 9.5 out of 10 for just a fantastic all-around complete gripping drama. Let me know your thoughts on Manchester by the Sea if you've seen it. If you haven't, I highly suggest you do. And that does it for this episode of Key Gripe, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Nice work. Good job. If you like what you saw, you can just go ahead and click that subscribe button for all videos past and future. You can also head over to my website and see all the other stuff that I do, including the books I've written. So go ahead, click stuff.